So first, let's go over all of the supplies you're going to need to make this charm bracelet. First, you're going to need a pair of jewelry pliers. Make sure that they're more of like the sharp nose ones and not like the really wide flat nose ones. You're going to need a pair of wire clippers, and usually if you go to the craft store, they'll have sets of pliers and it'll usually come with a pair of clippers, but just make sure that you get a pair of clippers. And this isn't super necessary, but I would definitely recommend that if you're planning on making a lot of these bracelets or doing a lot of jewelry making in general, that you get one of these. It's so helpful. It's basically a looper tool. You've probably seen one before if you've watched other jewelry videos, and I will link one down below for you, but it just makes the process so much quicker and so much easier in my opinion. But if you're just gonna be making like one bracelet, then it might not be worth it to you to buy one of these. But yeah, so a looper tool. You're going to need a bunch of eye pins, and I keep mine just in this little container, but I got them at Micheals and they're just simple eye pins. These ones are silver and they have a little loop at the end and nothing at the bottom. You're going to need a lot of eye pins. You're also going to need some jump rings, a clasp, and you can either choose to use a lobster clasp or one of these with like the straight edge and then the circle. I'm not exactly sure what you call this closure, but I had it and I think it's cute with these little swirls, so I'm gonna use this one. But you just need any sort of clasp. It can even be like the magnetic ones if you like that, whatever sort of clasp that you like using. And finally, you're going to need a bunch of beads and charms of your liking. And this is really what's gonna make the bracelet the aesthetic bracelet. So pick some good ones. These are the ones I chose. I'm going for more of like a purple fairy sort of look for this one. So I chose some purple ones and sparkly ones and butterflies and such. So that is everything that we're going to need to make this bracelet. It's not too many supplies, and I will definitely leave a link down below to all of these supplies. Although I did get most of my stuff from Micheals and Joanns Fabrics and Hobby Lobby and other craft stores. These beads are just like a bunch that I've been collecting over like the 10 years that I've been making jewelry since I was like really young. So I've got a bit of a collection going of random beads, but I'm going to leave links down below. I'm going to try to look on Amazon, TEMU, Aliexpress, and find you guys where the best deals are. So definitely check the description box below for links to all of these supplies. But now that you know what you're gonna need to make this bracelet, let's actually make the bracelet. So just looking at this bracelet that I had made before, the first thing that we are going to do is take each of our beads and we're going to put them on an eye pin like this and make them into a little link. So I'll start with this little birdie. So you're gonna take an eye pin and stick the bead onto the eye pin. And this is the part where the looper comes in handy, because if you have a looper, all you have to do is stick it through there, through the little hole, up until the bead, and then pinch down, and boom, it created a little loop for us. And now we have our first little link. And you see how the loop is kind of opened like that? I'm not too worried about that right now because we are going to be opening it to stick it onto the other links. So I'm just going to leave it like that for now. But let me show you what you would do if you didn't have a looper. So you're gonna take your eye pin again and you're gonna put your beads on it. And this time I'm gonna use these little cute bead caps. So I'm gonna stick one of those on, and then I'm gonna put the bead on, and then I'm gonna put the second cap. And so we have this little bead and it's capped, so cute. So if you don't have a looper, what you're gonna wanna do is first bend the wire one direction, kind of like perpendicular, like that. So this is what it should look like. Then you're gonna cut off a really good amount of the tail, depending on how big you want the loop to be. So I'm gonna cut it off about right there. And to finish off the loop, you're going to basically just bend it back the other direction and form it into a little loop. And there we go. Now we have a loop, and we just used the pliers. We didn't need that little loopy tool, and it did take a little bit longer than if I had just used the loopy tool, which is why I do recommend getting yourself one of these if you're going to be doing a lot of this. So for the remainder of the time, I am going to use my looper because I just want to save myself some brain cells. So now we have two little links for our bracelet. So cute. I'm gonna put those to the side, and I'm just going to keep looping my beads. You also don't only have to put one bead per link. You can put 2 or 3 beads per link, as many as you want. I would just recommend not putting more than 3 because you do want it to be able to bend on your wrist since it is going to be a bracelet. And if you have more than 3 beads on one link, your bracelet is not going to be as flexible. So I would just try to stick to anything less than 3 beads per link, but you could do 3 beads per link. So I feel like I made enough links to make this bracelet long enough for me. There's not really an exact way to measure out. I mean, if you really wanted to be precise, and if you're making this as a gift, you could get the wrist measurement of the person who you're making it for, and then you could actually like line up all of the links and make sure that it was that length. But since I don't really like doing that, don't really like planning things out, I kind of just go with the flow, make as many as I think I need, and then I can make a few extra if it ends up not being enough. So now it is time to link these together into our bracelet. So you could plan this out by lining them all up and figure out which link you want to be after which one. I would recommend doing that if you are the type of person who needs a plan, but honestly, I'm the type of person who just likes winging it and not having a plan. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm going to start by taking one of our links. I'm going to take this little birdie again, and I'm going to open up this circle. So now I can take another link. I'm just going to go with this one and loop it through there. And now it's on there. So I'm going to take my pliers again, and I'm going to close the circle. And voila, first link done. I hope my nails aren't getting in the way of this tutorial. If you're new here, I also make a lot of nail videos, so that's why my nails are so long and I like them this way. So I hope they're not getting in the way. Anyway, so now you're basically just going to continue that process, opening the link, taking whichever link you want to come next, looping it through, and closing the link. You want to make sure that you're closing these all the way, because if you don't close them all the way while you're wearing your bracelet, it's going to fall off and all your hard work is going to be lost and it's going to be really sad. So make sure you're closing them all the way. So that's what we've got so far. In the order that you put like the beads, links, whatever, really just comes down to your personal aesthetic and preference. I would also recommend looking at inspiration on Pinterest if you really don't know what you want to do. Also, the way that I find easiest to open these little loops is when you're opening it, bend it forward like that towards you, put on your next link, and then to close it, just bend it back all the way. I hope that was on camera, but I'll do it again just in case it wasn't. So once again, to open the link, bend it forward, loop on your next link, and then to close it, bend it back down. Basically the same way that you opened it. I will say it is a little bit trickier to close it once that next link is on, but I believe in you. You can do it. Just make sure that it's really closed all the way. So this is how our bracelet is coming so far. I'm just gonna do a quick length check. All right, looks like we're doing good. I am also keeping in mind the fact that this is going to be on the end, which is going to add about like ½ an inch to the length. So I am just going to finish off putting the rest of these links on. Okay, so I just measured it out and it's exactly the length of my wrist, which is perfect. Voila. So now we are going to put on our clasp. And to do this, because the part of the clasp is kind of thick, it's like a thick wire, it's not as thin as the eye pins, I'm going to be attaching it using my jump ring. This isn't really necessary. If the loop on your eye pin is big enough to fit this, then you can just attach it like you're attaching another link. But since mine's pretty small, I don't want to risk like breaking my eye pin because it doesn't fit right. So I'm just going to go ahead and attach it using a jump ring. So I'm just going to open the jump ring, stick my clasp on there, and close it up. Sometimes I actually like to pinch it together as well. I just find that it makes it close more securely when it's like overlapped like that. Hopefully you can tell what I mean. And I'm gonna do the same thing for the other half of the clasp as well. And now we've got both our clasp ready to be attached to the charm bracelet. So just as if I were about to add another link, I'm going to open up the eye pin on one side, attach one half of the clasp, and close it back up. Boom. And do the exact same thing with the other side. Open it up, loop it on, and close it back up. And boom. Now you literally have your completed charm bracelet. You can go ahead and put it on and close it up. If I can do it. Boom. And voila. I have a bracelet. Except I am not done because I want to add some charms to this bracelet to make it an actual proper charm bracelet, if you know what I mean. So here we have our completed bracelet. Let's add some charms on it. So I've kind of laid out my charms where I want to put them. So first I have like this crystal heart charm, this little silver butterfly, and then this heart with wings, which is actually just a bead that I'm going to show you how we're going to turn it into a charm, because you can turn your beads into charms as well. Okay, so this one is going to be easy to put on because it's already got this little jump ring thing on it. So I'm just going to go ahead and put it on. So I just opened up that ring. So I decided that I want to put it in between these two links. So I'm just going to link it through this eye pin right here and close it up real good. Pinch it together until I feel like it is secure. Next, I want to put this little butterfly right between these two links. This little butterfly charm did not come with a jump ring already. So I'm just going to take one of my jump rings, open it up, and stick it on there, and boom, instant charm. So now I'm just going to stick it on here. So I want it between these two, so I'm just going to stick it through one of those eye pins and close it up, and boom. So lastly, I'm going to take this little bead and I'm going to turn it into a charm, and I'm going to put it right here between this mushroom and this little bead over here. So to turn it into a charm, I'm going to use an eye pin and I'm going to stick it on there. And just as if I was creating another link, I'm going to turn it into a link by looping off the end. And this time I'm actually not going to use my looper tool because I want this loop to be pretty big. And there we go. It's got a big old loop on there now. And now to turn it into a charm, I'm going to take another jump ring, open it up, stick it through my bead, and then stick it through the eye pin where I want it on my bracelet. And finally close up that jump ring. And just like that, you have an adorable charm bracelet that you can wear yourself or give as a gift. And it's super unique and aesthetic. And it's really just that easy. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new here, definitely check out my other videos. I do nails and hauls, and I'm trying to get into doing more DIY stuff. And if you're not new here and you're not used to seeing videos like this, I hope that you enjoyed it. And let me know if you want to continue seeing videos like this. Maybe it introduced you to a new hobby that you might fall in love with. Who knows? Definitely give this video a thumbs up if it helped you, if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And be super cool and epic like that. Enjoy your holiday season, you guys. I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye! Mwah.